So we're very lucky that we actually have mobile apps today that allow us to tune our guitar really, really quickly for free. When I first learned how to tune my guitar, I actually used pitch pipes, so kind of dating myself there, but let's just say it's gotten a lot easier and a lot more accurate with these tuning apps. So I've actually got a screen recording going. I'm going to show you my favorite guitar tuning app for beginners and pros alike. It's just called GuitarTuna, T-U-N-A, and I just find it's a really, really simple app to use. It's a very easy interface. As you can see, we've got the guitar head here and all the strings. And what we're going to do is just kind of play each string, and we're going to see if we need to adjust the pitch. So that one's a little low, so I'm going to twist it up and make sure it hits the line. You get a little success ding, so you know you've done it right. And you want to make sure that this auto button is on, by the way. That'll be really helpful. Let's try the A string. Okay. A is pretty much right on. Good. D is good. Let's go to the G string, the first treble string. Lower just a little bit. And then B. B's maybe a little bit high. And then the E string. That was the one that sounded really bad when I arpeggiated that C major chord at the beginning of this video. I intentionally lowered it so we could hear it. There we go. And you don't have to be too shy about this either. I mean, if you're really having trouble, like I just don't know if I'm going low or high, you can always intentionally go the wrong direction just to kind of ease it up and get it to the right place. Just a little bit can go a long way. One thing to note about the GuitarTuna app is it is a free app. Right when you open it up, you might see this prompt to subscribe and join a free trial. You can simply swipe right over to the right and exit out of that. You don't need to pay for this app. It is free for iOS and Android devices. Sounds pretty good to me. First of all, if we've got a good tuning app, why would we even care about tuning the guitar by ear? Well, maybe your phone died. Or maybe you're playing with a pianist and their piano is slightly out of tune. It's slightly flat, slightly sharp. And so you might be perfectly in tune, but if the instrument you're playing with is a little bit out of tune, you're screwed. Like, you need to be able to match their pitch and tune the guitar to itself. So the guitar can be string to string in tune, even if the whole thing's a little flat or the whole thing's a little sharp. And that's okay. If you're playing with other instrumentalists, the audience will not really know. They'll just be able to tell if you're out of tune with each other. So let's dive right into how to do this. What we're going to do is on the low E string, the lowest bass string, you're going to put a finger down onto fret 5. That gives you the A pitch. So what we're doing is we're just listening. Are those notes in unison? Are those pitches exactly in unison? Could you almost not even tell they're two strings? That's the goal. So that's what we're doing when we're tuning by ear. The next one is almost exactly the same. We're just going to be on fret 5 onto the A string, and that's going to give us the D pitch. You can hear it's pretty much right on. To get the G string, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to be on the D string, fret 5. There we go. And you might be able to tell that there's a little bit of a texture change. Although these are all nylon strings, the bass strings are wound with copper or a different material, carbon, but then these treble strings might be that softer material. So there is sort of a texture change. So that's also something that can make the G string a little bit difficult to calibrate because it's the lowest of the treble strings. All right, that sounds pretty good to me. So the next string, this is the one that's a little bit unique. On the G string, instead of being on fret 5 to get the B string, on the G, we need to actually go to fret 4. That's where we get the B pitch. So in order to get the B pitch, again, this is the unique one. We have to go on the G string. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just pluck those, and they should sound just the same. And then for the high E string, our last string, what we need to do is we go on to the B string, and it's fret 5 again, just like all those other strings. And there you have it. So just to recap, fret 5 on the low E string gives you A. Fret 5 on the A string gives you D. Fret 5 on the D string gives you G. Fret 4 on the G string gives you B. And fret 5 on the B string gives you E. And that's how we tune our guitar by ear. And if you want to explore one more tuning trick using harmonics, you can do that by going up to the 7th fret and just laying your finger down onto the 7th fret 6th string. That actually gives you the open B pitch. And then the 7th fret, string 5, the A string, you pluck that, that gives you your high E. So if you feel like the bass and the treble are a little bit misaligned, you can actually try to calibrate them and get them even closer. It's a little bit easier to hear because it's the exact pitch. You can even do them together. So that's pretty much tuning your guitar in a nutshell. I recommend you start by using tuning apps, but it's also a very, very invaluable skill to be able to tune your guitar by ear. Because again, if you're ever playing with someone else whose instrument can't be perfectly in tune, the best thing you can do is match their pitch and then tune your guitar so it sounds like you're all playing in the same key and the same register. And by the way, a lot of classical guitarists also like the Snark clip-on tuner, so I've got links to that in my bio. The Snark clip-on tuner and the D'Addario clip-on tuner, both of those are really, really awesome options. The way those clip-on tuners work are actually pretty cool. You attach them to the headstock and it measures the vibrations in the headstock to be able to detect these strings are too loose or too tight, and it tells you exactly how to adjust the string. It's pretty accurate, it's pretty great. So here's a little bonus for you. If you've ever wondered, how do we tune to drop D tuning? Drop D tuning means instead of low E, we want this pitch to actually be a low D. We need to go back a whole step. So the way we can do that, there's a couple different ways. One way is to just try to use our ears and match the pitch of this open D string. It is going to be an octave lower, so it's going to be hard to get it really, really accurately. But instead of going on fret 5, we would actually put our finger down onto fret 7. So the lowest string, we're going on to fret 7 now, and that should be an A pitch. Let's hear it. It's pretty close. You can always play a D major chord. Really lush, really, really beautiful. But there is one more way we can get to drop D, and it's with our tuning app yet again. So one thing we can do is actually put our finger down onto the 2nd fret on the lowest string. And I'm actually still a little bit up, a little sharp. But what we can do is, by doing this, we're actually playing the E pitch, the original standard tuning, low E that we were playing. And then you're using the tuning app to measure that. So we're kind of hacking it a little bit. Again, this might not be the most accurate approach. I say, when in doubt, trust your ear. I love the method of just going onto the 7th fret, trying to get that unison pitch with the A string, but also check it with the octave D to make sure it just sounds really, really lush and really, really pure. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it inspired you and encouraged you and showed you, okay, tuning my guitar, maybe it's not so bad after all. I know it's a tedious process, especially when you're first getting started with guitar, but I can tell you with firsthand experience, nothing is worse than getting ready to play in front of people and then you start a piece and you just notice, oh my gosh, that string is really out of tune. It's a nightmare. So just don't do it to yourself. Be very, very diligent. And if you're hearing like something is a little bit off as you're playing, do a tuning check. It's totally possible that your body heat or the temperature in the room has changed the string tension. So give it a tuning check pretty often. Luckily, we have these tuning apps, so it's super quick, super, super easy to do. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel. In the description, I've also got a link to my full article, How to Tune Your Guitar Like a Pro. That's at richterguitar.com, so you can check that out. And I also have links to some of the other tuning devices I talked about down below. Once again, I'm Jonathan Richter with Richter Guitar. Happy tuning, and I'll see you next time.